Get our text to speech working. Let's do it. Come on. You can do it. Why are you not doing it? Let's go back over here. Reconnect. There we go. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Wow, somebody filled up the van yesterday. What? Somebody's welcome. Donuts. We're ready to go. One delivery this morning. One delivery. We're on the road. It is cold. It's as cold as a penguin's butt cheeks. Bright headlight. It's crazy. It's amazing. Chilly in the van this morning. It is 28 degrees here at Hampstead. Skies are clear. It's not really going to get a whole lot. Winter. That's winter temperatures. So it's all right though. Cold weather's good for you. Windy too. You hear the wind? Oh, and I heard that popcorn noise. I looked at my video yesterday just to see if that. I don't know what that is. I can't figure it out. I swear I'm not making popcorn. You hear it again. I mean, it's definitely vibration related because it happens, sort of. But I don't know what it is. Like, it's strange. It's very strange. I ordered it's a cheap little thing, but I think it's going to come in handy. I ordered a phone mount that is magnetic, right? So instead of a suction cup, like it's magnetic for the phone and it's magnetic for what it attaches to. So, like what I have on the windshield that I'm using right now is a suction cup. But what I was thinking was the tripod that I have, which is it's basically like the size of a paper towel roll, right? So it's not that big, not an empty paper towel roll, not a full one. But it's, you gotta, it only takes 2 seconds, right? But like, I like things to be extremely simple, not just simple. So you got to pull the legs open. I mean, it is a good tripod, and I will be using it at some point. But to just kind of like, what I was thinking is to take the phone, the camera, phone, whatever, off the windshield and be able to just like pop it somewhere in the back of the van, like just stick it up to the wall at the back of the van when I'm loading or unloading. So instead of you just like looking back at the backs of the seats, and then you can kind of see over to what's going on. I don't know. I'm going to try it out. It looks very simple. It looks like probably the reason somebody created it, this magnet attachment, because if you think about it, there aren't a whole lot of uses for it, but I think the primary use is for people that like take the camera to the gym and they want to videotape themselves working out, and they can just stick it on, because most of the equipment in a gym is metal. So that's where I think that's where it probably came from. But I think it will be good in the van. So another attraction coming soon. Coming soon to a live stream near you. Science. This is good. I'm doing it before anybody really watches. I mean, if you're someone that's popped in here a few days in a row, a couple times over the past couple weeks, you are at the very beginning of this journey. So today was I love the lights. I mean, I'm going to go and look back a couple weeks and see I think this is brighter than it's ever been before. I don't know what he got put in here, but it's brighter than ever. Like, I can't even tell it's nighttime. Alright, maybe not. Alright, for a quick second I thought that mailbox was a deer. I have a deer anxiety ever since I hit one yesterday. I didn't hit him, I bumped him, but still. It is really windy out. I'm like right on top of this ridge. This would be a good place to come. You ever see if there's a comet or a meteor shower? The comet's more likely. Sometimes you'll see that, they're passing by and you can see them. But a lot of times the best time to catch the sighting is like right at dawn, or right at midnight, or right at dusk or dawn. And a lot of times it's when they're they're very close to the horizon. So it's good to have a spot like that, in that ridge where you have no trees. There's a place in Reisterstown called Soldier's Delight. Just like a natural foresty area with trails and stuff like that. And you know what? I think it's breaking up. I think this is an area where it's breaking up. Maybe you can hear me through this. I think there's going to be a pause. So I'll wait a second. I think. So what I was going to say is there's this place called Soldier's Delight, and they would have places where you could pull off. People would park to go back in the trails and stuff, but it had a very good view of, I'm not sure what we were looking at, the south sky? I'm I'm not sure which direction that faced in. It might have been west, south, or west or something, but I think it was west, actually, now that I think about it. But I remember going out there with my mom, and some comet was going by or something. You all, or did anybody, all zero of you, in the live stream at least, but yesterday I watched some of the coverage, well, I'm calling it coverage, but it was like storm chaser people that drive around, and they were live streaming from the lake effect snowstorms that are happening there in the Chicago area, I think. Well, I don't think they were in Chicago, but it's up in that area. So the lake effect snow is like they're having horrible weather up there, and they're driving around. Of course, they're purposely driving to the worst. You know, like the one stream I was watching, you could tell that they were like, they had a map on there and they were trying to drive into the areas that they knew were getting pelted with sleet and stuff like that. Oh, and then the other thing is, okay, so you know, I've talked about this dash cam guy in the northwest area that I've watched a couple times. So, and what happens is, you know how the way it works is you get that, when you sign in, you get that list of videos that you may want to watch. And so these types of videos are popping up for me all the time now, which is fine. It's good. And I was back on this dash cam, the bird chef. So he's driving around. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start talking. So I started talking to him, and I also noticed there was one time when he was driving past a building where the windows were reflecting the street, and he was like turning into the parking lot or something, and you got a quick shot of our reflection in the window. And so it was quick, but I'm almost positive that he drives for FedEx. I think it was a FedEx truck, which kind of makes sense. So I was asking him questions like, you know, do you load your own truck? He said no, because I was thinking about it. You know, like I'm sitting there thinking, there's a whole science to that process. You know, you got to load the truck in a certain, I mean, to be efficient, you got to load it in a certain order, so that when you're out driving the route, you know, you're not searching for stuff. It should be the, you know, closest to the door, and as you work your way back, kind of thing. So he said no, he doesn't pack the truck. I guess when he gets to work, the truck is packed, but he has to usually, you know, he goes through everything and kind of like rearranges some stuff that he might know. Because what I found out, because of course I couldn't just like see FedEx and go, oh, he drives a FedEx truck. I have to look up some stuff about FedEx drivers to see how that works. Do they have the same route? You know, these were things I needed to know. So I asked AI. AI knows everything. And yes, they do kind of stay on the same routes. So that's why, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but like if you get frequent deliveries from, all right, no blinker, no stopping, I know. if you get frequent deliveries, a lot of times it's the same guy for a while or girl, and that's why it makes sense, because they know the route. They know, like, there's some people that really want the packages left the back door, not the front door. You know about crazy animals and stuff like that. Where there might be problems, detours and stuff like that. So I guess they do try to keep their drivers in the same general area. That's pretty wild. I mean, he's in the truck. I guess he's in the truck for 5-6 hours, maybe. At least that's how long I think most of the streams are. But oh my goodness, he was driving and going through all these neighborhoods, and he was in, I mean, when I was watching, every neighborhood had all these speed bumps in the road. And I'm talking about speed bumps, not the, in Maryland, you have less speed bumps. They're more likely in a parking lot or something. But on the roadway, we have speed humps, the ones that you've seen me drive over, if you've watched before. And they're like wider, so they don't seem quite as violent when you ride over. But he was riding over so many. I'm like, oh my god. I said to him, I'm like, I can't believe how many speed bumps. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's kind of a hassle with the truck. But I said, I think you drive over at least 100 speed bumps a day. You've got to. It's probably in the 15 minutes. Because I turned it on. I was watching some of it while I was working out in my basement, and I said, I think you go over. One day I'm going to sign on and watch one of their broadcasts from as close to the beginning as I can get, and then count them. And then I thought, no, you know what I can do? I could take the recorded video, upload it to AI, and tell AI to count how many speed bumps the guy drives over. I think it'll work, because I asked AI, and they said they can't really, when their AI said when he's looking at a video, can't really tell that it's definitely a speed bump every time. But I guess what it does is it looks at the camera and it can tell when there's an abrupt bump like that. So you might pick up, I think you might pick up some things that aren't speed bumps. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to take a little tiny piece, maybe like 10 minutes, when he's going through one of these sections. And I'm going to clip that out, make a video out of it, attach it to AI, and ask it to count and see how close it gets. Because I can't see myself really, I mean, as exciting as it might be, I don't know if I would see myself sitting down and watching 5 hours and just keeping a tally of how many speed bumps he goes over. But it was crazy. So if you're going to move out to the West Coast, particularly the Northwest, one industry that might be worth getting into is speed bump maintenance. I don't think you really have to get into the speed bump production, because they seem to have a lot already. But they got to maintain them. They break down. Speed bumps don't last forever. So that's it. That's a good job to get. And I think it would be one of the last jobs taken over by AI. I don't know, though. You never know. Here's another thing. Do you think think it'll ever be possible for the sense of smell to be transmitted, you know, sort of like we do sight and sound now. Like, I'm not saying, you know, detailed what transmit. I don't even understand how it works. All right, I do not understand how TVs work. I don't get it. I mean, I know they're little pixels and all that kind of stuff, but I don't understand how you could be sitting in your house in Europe somewhere watching me right now, and you might have like a little delay, but not a lot. I don't know how that works, right? I have no idea. So you can see it and you can hear it, but why couldn't they come up and you know, your first reaction to that is, no, yeah, that's not possible. Yeah, that's not happening. But wouldn't people have said the same thing about sight? Like if you went back 100 years from now, right? That's not a really long time. I think if you went back 100 years and you told somebody that you'd be able to sit in your car and have a device pointed out the window, you know, and somebody could sit on the other side of the planet and watch that. No cords. I don't know. I think they would have gone, no, that's not possible. Even sound. You know, first we started with sound, it's sight. I don't know why you couldn't use smell. There's got to be a way to like do something with chemicals somehow. I'm sure we would end up being something that like caused some kind of mass illness. But hey, it's all in the spirit of advancing the experience, the life experience. I mean, and then you wouldn't want it everywhere, right? Like, let's say we're watching, I don't want to go there, but it's not going to be everywhere. But wouldn't it be cool, like, if you were walking through the redwood forest? I mean, that's an incredible smell. Or walking into an Office Depot, again, incredible smell. I would say walking into a Best Buy, but I think the smell is still there, but the excitement is not. You know, I apologize if I told the story before, but I went to Best Buy to purchase my Starlink Mini, and I just was really, I hadn't been in a Best Buy for a while, and it was really kind of sad. It was, I mean, it wasn't as bad as when you walk through a store and it's like going out of business sales, so the shelves are kind of sparse, but they are. I mean, they don't have a lot of, the inventory in there is kind of, they got a lot of TVs, TV section's big, and they got a lot of stuff, but it just doesn't feel the same. They don't have a lot of inventory, and there aren't a lot of people in there. Everybody shops online. I think I kind of miss shopping. I mean, I would, back in the, I guess it was mostly the 80s. Well, I think it was the 80s into the 90s. I mean, malls were everything. Going shopping, just hanging out, especially Christmas time. I would just go, we have, in Maryland, we have like a few really big malls. We had Security Square Mall's been there forever, and that one was starting to kind of like fade a little bit. But it was big, and it was good for a long time. And Owings Mills, the Owings Mills Mall was a big deal for a while. Then Hunt Valley Mall, White Marsh Mall, Towson Town Center, Columbia Mall. Columbia Mall has been like pretty stable as far as a really good place to hang out. But I haven't been to Columbia Mall for a while. I think that one's still like actually in Towson. There are a couple that are still attracting a fair amount of people, I think. But man, there was a time when I would, like a weekend or two before Christmas, well, maybe not the weekend before, but like early December, I'd spend a couple of weekends I'd go out and just jump from one mall to the next. And it would actually be, parking was always it was actually like an adventure. I think Towson is still like that. White Marsh Mall. White Marsh Mall used to have a clown with all these balloons. If anybody knows what I'm talking about. She would walk around, and I never bought a balloon from this clown. That's probably not true. I probably did, because I used to get a lot of balloons around Christmas. I can tell that story sometime. But it was like a ridiculous amount of balloons. Like it was probably hundreds, 100. Yeah, probably. I don't know how it even held her. The hell she stayed down. She wasn't gigantic. I don't know how she stayed put, because she had a lot of balloons. Maybe she had like lead in her shoes or something to hold her down. But I miss her. Owings Mills Mall had Disney Store and Saks Fifth Avenue. They had like one half of the mall was all super upscale stuff. And the other half was more reasonable, like, Sears and stuff like that. Okay, we're here. First delivery location. I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out until that door's open. You know that. All right, let me call them. Let me turn you around. Whoops. What are you doing, Craig? What are you doing? There we go. Turn. Okay, let's make a phone call. Yeah, there we go.
Good morning, welcome to Order Day Cafe. Your name is your order.
Okay, she's there. My tray is there. I can see it. All right. Let's go. Okay. Danish. Little bitties. All right, I'll be right back. See, this is like a winter temperature, so, you know, I mean, it does get colder than this, but not a whole lot, really. You know what I mean? So, okay, here we go, here we go. We turn you around. I can't see that. I think I got somebody in there. Boom, boom. Alright, we're back up there. Let's do this. I'm definitely going to do the metal thing. I like the idea. Let's go with it. See, I don't hear any noise there. I'm trying to figure out what that crazy noise is. The popcorn noise. I mean, if you're going to hear it, I want to eat it. You want to hear something silly? I just thought of it yesterday. I did some grocery shopping. I went to, I did my Walmart stop after I drove, and I bought popcorn. I think that was like some subliminal thing. Like, have I been forced by nature? And you might say, hey, Craig, what kind of popcorn did you get? I just got plain old movie theater. I mean, I didn't get it at the movie theater, obviously. But, you know, the old regular movie theater type popcorn. You know, lots of fat, salt, all that stuff is good for you. But my goal was I wanted to just have something that I could eat. Like while I'm on the computer watching TV or something, just like eat it. Well, okay, don't laugh at this, but my goal was to just like make it last a while, you know, like eat one kernel at a time, but of course, you know, that's not what happens. I take a handful, shove it in my mouth. Honestly, that's the way it works. I have no self-control. And that actually went through my mind yesterday. I was like unpacking my stuff, and I'm like, oh, let me eat some of this popcorn. The next thing you know, I've got like handfuls of popcorn being shoved in my face. But I digress. Alright, pretty simple ride today. I didn't stay online that long yesterday, but you know, I was talking about making a little video clip explains sort of what my vision of my channel, like what I'm trying to do. And I did actually. I didn't try. I actually did it on the way. Right before you get back to the bakery, that one spot, that one location where you kind of come up the hill and it spreads out, it's a nice view. I thought that would be a nice place for me to just say, boom, you know, boom, 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 boom. Here's my 1 minute, 30-second explanation of my channel. I tried it. I don't know if I started to listen to it yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to hear myself talk anymore today. But I might play around with that today. It's going to be cold. It's going to be so cold all day that I will not be outside doing anything today, I don't think. like, all right, here we are. We're just riding along. We are barely going the speed limit. We're actually a little bit under. And then you get nobody in front of you. You're not going exceedingly fast. And you just brake. Why do you do that? Actually, I didn't see that truck. There's a truck in front of the car that I was thinking I was talking about. So let me take that back. That have like sticky, like a material on the palm and the fingers that are rubberish or some kind of material that will grip. I might have something like that at home. I don't know. Look that up. A lot of stuff to do. Guys do delivery trucks though. Can you imagine like on a cold day? Because you're not really sitting in the truck for any length of time. I mean, most of the time you're out jumping out of the truck, running, but it happens constantly. It's a very, very physical job. Too quick for me to realize where it was. I started to get into that once. I think I stopped when I was up to 3 dogs at one point. I had Andy and Shelby, and then they had puppies, and I kept AJ. And so for a while I had Andy, Shelby, usually got down to closer to 40. Goodness. So that was kind of good. I don't know why we wouldn't do that, but why would be, more than I thought, but I'm not complaining. Maybe it's just, maybe it's kind of warming up to, or growing, or whatever you do, whatever batteries do, because it was brand new. And the battery the model is called Peak Dew. And if you look it up, you can buy it directly from them, and from what I understand, they distribute. It's a company in China, so originally you're going to look at that and go, is it like a quality product, and how long is it going to take me to get it? So I can say that my experience with it so far has been excellent. It appears to be a quality product, and it's been acting like one, so I would say that it's good. And it is shipped for people in the United States that are buying it. It's shipped from distributors in the U.S. So I think they say that you get it within a few days, 2 to 4 days or something like that. I, however, went. Where did I buy mine from? Oh. I don't remember where I got it from. I might have gotten it from Amazon. You can get it other places than the Peak Dew website. I also know that you can get it from. I know that people are going to think I'm a representative. I am not, but you can get it from the Veritas vans. And I say that because you're going to want to buy a case for it. No matter where you get the case, you're going to want some kind of case for it, and a mount of some sort. Unless you're just using it to go camping, and then you're going to just set it up outside somewhere, you may not need a case. But I would recommend the case, and the one that they sell. Again, I'm super happy with it. It's really solid. It has the magnetic feet that I wanted to just sit on the top of this van, but you can also stick it on the top of your car. Although, from what I understand, some cars don't have metal, so then they do have a suction cup alternative, like these super powerful suction cups. So I just want the metal. I want the magnet route because to me that's faster, right? It's easy to pop on and off. And my experience with the dash, you will see people online that say you can just stick it in the dash and it'll pick up the signal through the windshield. It will pick up signals through glass. So you can mount it. Some people mount it, on the sunroof inside. But my experience with the dash, sticking on the dashboard, it's not good. If you were going, if you were driving northbound, for me, I think it's different in different locations. But for me, the best satellite reception is when it's somewhere in the northern sky. So I just, if I was driving south, especially in a wooded area, because then you've got two factors going against you. If you're in a wooded area, your coverage becomes weaker, and then if it was in the dash, and it wasn't getting a really good direct angle. I had more brake. I had more of the stream breaking up or freezing. Now I really only get it in the more dense areas. It's only for a very short period of time, and that's just, you go under a bridge and you're underneath something for a short period of time, that goes away. The connection goes away. Really, the only lengthy break I have is if I go to get gas. I've learned that when I pull at a gas station, because the gas stations have the cover over top, right? You're usually under some kind of a cover. That will block it. There's probably someplace I could park there that might still get it, but I haven't figured that out yet. So the battery is a peak tube, and it's made for the Mini. You can get, with the right adapters, you can use any kind of battery, but it fits right in there, and it fits within the case. So it all comes together in one package, and you just, basically, you've got the thing charged up. It's like you're carrying around a laptop and you stick it up on the roof and there's your internet. It's pretty amazing. And I think it's constantly getting better. The coverage, that is. So I highly recommend it. And I think I talk about Veritas fans enough. I really need to send the guy an email. I don't want to stick a link to his site without telling him that I'm doing it. I don't think he'd have a problem with it, but I'm gonna do that. Who knows? Maybe I'll become a spokesperson. On top of everything else, their people seem very, very nice. They're in California somewhere, and I called them with some questions before I bought stuff. Super nice people, and even since then, I got a call back. If you go look at the video clips, the guy's name is Sam. He's actually pretty funny. Again, the algorithm kind of suggests to me that I should watch. Oh, here's a new short clip. He does these short clips, and yesterday I think I talked about the one that was "Bada boom, bada bing," is what he said, and I thought that was funny. I talked about that yesterday, but so that was one, and then I looked at it. I saw another one yesterday, maybe, where he's talking about how durable this case is. He's kind of walking across. He's carrying it. He's telling you how durable it is, and then he starts to walk across. From his truck, he's walking towards you, and he just throws it at this picnic table, and it bounces off the picnic table, flies across. It struck me funny. I watch them now just for the. Hold on, I'll be back. My question when I bought the case was about how I could get. I was was buying some attachments. One was a handle, and then since I was buying the battery, I also needed a different side so that it would access, so you could still access the battery through the case. And it's such a solid piece of, I don't know what the material is, but it's so solid looking that I couldn't tell that it was actually 4 separate pieces that kind of are put together. It's like a little bit of a puzzle. I mean, it's easy. It's very, very easy to do, but it all clicks together like a puzzle, and it's super strong. That was my question, actually, was like, how do you, is it possible to put all the pieces that I want together to make it work? And it clearly was, but I wanted to be sure before I ordered it. Cows. Good morning. Oh, she's laying there. I keep hearing that I was talking about metal for the magnet mounts. I think it's Ford. Ford doesn't use steel in their metal. I don't know. There was some kind of car. I think they said Ford. Something to be aware of. Something to be aware of. Test it out. Brown cows. Brown cow section. Horses. Now I got horses and cows. It's becoming a real that section. I think I probably just came back. Right, am I right or am I right? There's that one area right there. I think it's because the trees are really pretty much over the road. But they're also on the side that I think is facing north. So it's a double whammy. Double whammy. That sounded during the ride. Beautiful. All right, everybody. Well, here we are, Tuesday. 1 hour later. Back at the bakery. Done for the day. For anybody who joined, I can say I have 0 now. So, join. I hope you're having a good day. I hope everybody who's watching this in the future has a good day. And goodness. There's some people that just walked out of the fitness club up here called Living Fit. And they're just wearing t-shirts. Serious? This guy up there is like burning his tires. She's like, I'm talking about. This is what's up in here in Hampstead this morning. He's waiting for his friends. Here comes friends. These are the guys wearing t-shirts. T-shirts. I mean, it's 29 degrees. Come on. Anyway, having fun. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's a 5 o'clock day. 2 deliveries. Till then, peace out. Be good.